we go. The Phoenix Suns talks about running it back. How much do we believe it? And Kyler Murray, PFF dropped a ranking. Is it fair? Is he underrated or is he overrated? We'll talk about it next.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need him. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth? Better have thick skin like callus. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show. Go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show. Go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, guys? Welcome into yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. There are so many things to get into today. The Phoenix Suns running it back. Kyler Murray rated by Pro Football Focus. What do we think about that? We'll get to all of it in just a second. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show, as well as if you are here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, potentially even tell a friend about the Ben Garcia Show. I'm going to warn you right now. The reason why I started a little bit later today is because it's going to be a shorter of a show. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I got no sleep last night. It was my anniversary yesterday. Wife and I hung out, went to dinner, all that good stuff. I am beat. And I wasn't even going to have a show today until we got some stories that came out last night. And for those of you that don't know, this is a Monday through Thursday show. So let's power through, let's jump right into it, and let's start here. So there was a report yesterday from Jake Fisher, part of Mark Stein and Fisher's newsletter that comes out every so often. Couple of days in between, they'll get something for that. And yesterday, Jake Fisher reported that keeping Kevin Durant is not off the table for the Phoenix Suns. And first, I just want to, state my opinions pretty clear. Because I don't know if I've done that on this channel. I've done it on Locked On Suns, but I don't know if I've done it on this channel. And both those channels have unique viewership. Some interlap, but most of it is unique viewership on both sides. I am so pro trade Kevin Durant, it's not even funny. Because, and it's not to do anything with Kevin Durant's play. It's just if you're a team trying to figure out a future and trying to figure out what you want your team to look like in 5 years, you got to move Kevin Durant, even if you end up taking a discount on him. Keeping Durant next year, it's just not plausible. I guess you could do it, but it doesn't make any sense. Running it back with Durant and Booker next year is just asininely stupid. How and what way are you going to get better? And, I continue to urge the people of this show and people in public, stop listening to dumb Twitter news aggregators who don't have them as their profile picture. Now, if you don't want to have yourself as your profile picture, that's fine. But stop acting like you know better than everyone else. If you can't put your name and face to it, that's a you problem. And I go after these counts all the time because they're idiots. Some of these guys think it's so easy to move Beal. And it's oftentimes like, we'll move Beal, get, a bunch of good pieces back, and run it back with KD and Booker. And go get a center. Like, it's that easy. No one wants Bradley Beal. Newsflash. No one wants Bradley Beal. No one really, for any sense, wants Kevin Durant for a large sum of collection of pieces, picks, and players. They don't want that. So, I feel like I have to break it down honestly for my listeners and for people on social media and in real life when I've met a few of you guys out at the, gym or out in the open. There is no world outside of the Suns insider trading levels of getting back a key piece and a bunch of young players for Bradley Beal, there is no plausible scenario that happens. And even more than that, there is no plausible scenario in which the Suns are championship contenders next year. The most you can hope for is that the Suns are a playoff contender next year. But I feel like I have to rip the Band-Aid off. There's no world. Zero. No world. It is over where the Suns are going to be anything more than a team, if they play their cards right, fighting for the playoffs. And so maybe you run it back next year with Kevin Durant and try to boost up his market, show that he's a 37-year-old, but still a pretty good 37-year-old, and you move him at the trade deadline. Maybe that's the route you go. But this idea at all, that you're going to run a team back next year with the core being Booker and Durant, it's just not plausible, guys. And so when I see a report that says the Suns haven't fielded any calls or started the bidding for Kevin Durant, it's like, yeah, duh. All this is posturing, in my opinion. With the Houston Rockets coming out and saying, oh, Jalen Green, that's our guy. Devin Booker, never heard of him. I want a guy that chucks 50 shots a game and plays next to no defense and shoots the ball inefficiently, I might add, instead of Devin Booker, who does most of those things pretty well, and sometimes Devin Booker can defend. And then the 76ers coming out saying, nope, no interest in Kevin Durant. There is no world right now where you should be tipping your hand if you're the Phoenix Suns. So when I see a report that says the Suns might just hold on to KD, it's like the Suns are seeing the reports and reading the tea leaves and saying, listen, if you want Kevin Durant, he's up for sale for sure. But he ain't free. So you better start raising your offers now. And so the Suns can't run it back next year. They can't. There's no world where the Suns are viable. There's no world where the Suns are a Western Conference semifinal team next year, much less a championship contender. Maybe the Suns make the playoffs, and maybe they're interesting. But there's no world where it matters more than that. And then you lose KD anyways. At the end of this year, he's on the last year of his deal. There's no world where they compete. And there's no world where they move Bradley Beal and get pieces back that actually make a difference. Now, can they trade Bradley Beal to the Wizards and get back a bunch of bad contracts? Yeah. Like instead of having one guy who makes up $55 million a year or something of that nature, you get a Chris Middleton. You get who's got a bad contract. You get a Marcus Smart who's got a bad contract. But you're not trading Bradley Beal to the Mavericks and getting PJ Washington and Derek Lively. It's ridiculous. Guys, for some of the trades that you see on social media, take it from me. I cover this team. I'm at every game. 99% of trade machines are pure garbage. If you look at a trade machine and think to yourself, well, it's not awful. It's not a bad deal. It is. It's a bad deal. Stop listening to the idiots on social media. Please, I beg of you, stop listening to the idiots on social media. See my guy Aaron in the chat saying I'll trade you Brook Lopez for Devin Booker. I'm pretty sure Brook Lopez contract is up this year, so that couldn't even happen, buddy. How about change that from Booker to Giannis and we'll make it happen? So when I see that report, I don't freak out that the Suns haven't started shopping Kevin Durant yet. First off, they can't do anything until July 1st. Secondly, I think this is clearly the Suns saying, hey, Kevin Durant's here, but we're not taking a discount. So you better get ready to send over Jabari Smith. Or if you're the Rockets and you want to continue topping out in the first round, go for it. But if you want someone that can help take you to that next step, KD's here. He's ready to be shipped out and ready to go. You might want to add Eason and another pick. So that's where it is right now for the Suns. It's tough times for them to be where they're at. And I hate to give you tough love, but there is just no world next year where the Suns are viable championship contenders. No world. None of it makes any sense, and I feel like you have to rip off the Band-Aid now. Because there are too many people out there setting themselves up for failure, and they're going to blame Matt Ishbia instead of their dumb, unrealistic expectations. That's what they should be blaming. Not the Suns governor who's got enough on his plate right now. But there's so much misinformation on social media when it comes to the Suns, and I'm not sure what people believe and what they don't, but what I'll tell you is they're likely lying. Those dumb people on social media circulating dumb trade news. Anyways, what I would say is the Suns have to break it up. There's no shot at being championship contenders next year. But they can get themselves out of this hole if they nail a KD trade. And posturing and telling people through the grapevine that if you want KD, you better get your offers up, that's the way they should be doing business. And no other way is necessary. So, the topic you guys have all been waiting for. This is interesting. This is like that. This Cardinals topic is a topic given from the football gods. I mean, this is the topic we should be having in August. But we got a quarterback rankings list from Pro Football Focus on May 21st. I mean, this is great stuff. So yesterday, Pro Football Focus ranked all 32 starters ahead of the 2025 NFL season. They have the Tier 1 guys, which are the elites. I call these guys the Fab Four, basically. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Literally, zero worries with that list. That's exactly who the top four are. Lamar, Joe, Patrick, Josh Allen. That is perfect. And then you have the Tier 2. And you expect Kyler Murray not to be in the Tier 1. But in Tier 2, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, Herbert. Just quick non-Arizona Cardinals conversation. When the hell are we going to start holding Justin Herbert accountable for not winning anything? There is no reason why Justin Herbert should be in a different class than Kyler Murray. But those are the Tier 2 guys, the high-end starters. And then here's Tier 3. Solid starters who have flashed high-end play. Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy. So that was Tier 3A, solid starters who have flashed high-end play. So Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy. Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, nonsense, but whatever. Solid starters, but they need more help. Jordan Love, there's still no, we're at number 12 now. Still no Kyler Murray. Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud. 15th, just ahead of Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray. And they write, after multiple injury-plagued seasons, Murray finally stayed healthy in 2024 and delivered an 82.1 overall grade. If you can avoid the injury bug again in 2025, Murray is well positioned to take another step forward in year 3 under Jonathan Gannon, offensive coordinator Drew Petzing. It's hard to argue with that list. Pro Football Focus coming out with their top 32 quarterback rankings and ranking Kyler Murray 15 behind guys like, I might argue Kyler's definitely better than some of these guys, but what's my argument? Kyler Murray's at 15th, CJ Stroud's at 14th, he's got playoff wins, Baker Mayfield's won the division in both different conferences at least once, Jordan Love has won a playoff game before. Brock Purdy's been to a Super Bowl. Geno Smith, I mean, that one just doesn't make any sense. But Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford. This is not for the anti-Kyler Murray crowd, because the anti-Kyler Murray crowd would say, well, that's even too high for Kyler. I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence. Okay, let's not talk to that person really quickly. Let's talk to the pro-Kyler Murray crowd that is so high on Kyler, they can't quit him. Let's talk about that for a second. Kyler Murray being ranked 15th in the Pro Football Focus quarterback rankings, my only question would be, I'm not happy with the rankings either, but let me ask you, how in the world could you argue Kyler's ahead of 15? Every quarterback outside of Geno Smith on this list has been to the playoffs, has won a playoff game, outside of Justin Herbert. But outside of Justin Herbert and outside of Geno Smith, every quarterback on this list has won a playoff game, has shown flashes before of greatness, maybe fallen down to the mean a little bit more than they should have at the start of their career. But I don't think there's any argument right now to have Kyler as the 15th best quarterback in the NFL. You and I can both believe in Kyler Murray's talent. We can both say, man, the raw physical traits are there. He's accurate, one of the best deep balls in the league, mobile, and I would say I agree with you. But at some point, talent only goes so far. Kyler has to put it together for a full 18-game sample size. And I obviously respond and talk back to all you guys on my YouTube channel. You guys watch me. You guys comment on my stuff. I want to repay that favor by commenting back and interacting with you guys, because without you, there is no show. I'm just talking to myself in my bedroom. But what I would say is, for the most pro Kyler Murray guy, what's the argument? Outside of a Rookie of the Year trophy, which is great, awesome, fun to have that. Only guy since Anquan Bolden to win that. So, I get all that. What's the argument that isn't, I just know about Kyler? Well, I just know he's great. He throws a great deep ball. He's accurate. He's mobile. Guys, I agree with all of that. But at this point, with Kyler Murray entering year 7, year 8, with 0 playoff wins and 1 playoff appearance, that was embarrassing. Kyler has not earned to be a top 10 quarterback on any list, much less the Pro Football Focus list. He's 15th, which I think is a little harsh, but punishment does fit the crime. Kyler has not done anything to this extent to where he deserves ultimate immunity. And that brings me to my next point. This is exactly where you want Kyler Murray to be if you're an Arizona Cardinal fan. Remind him he has won nothing in this league. Remind him constantly that he is overlooked, that people are going to make Call of Duty jokes, that people are going to make short jokes. Remind him of that. My point would always just be, as much as I think Kyler is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and I find it hard to watch Kyler play. It's a little Justin Herbert, right? Not in the sense of they're the same quarterback. That's nonsense. They're two totally different guys. But just like how Charger fans look at Justin Herbert and watch him play and say, I mean, come on, guys, this dude's a top 8 guy. It's the same way Cardinals fans who are pro Kyler Murray say about Kyler. Guys, he's a top 10 guy. Because you watch some of the explosive plays that Kyler makes. And man, I go back to years ago against the Minnesota Vikings on 4th down and throwing a ball with an over on all-out blitz and dropping a dime in Christian Kirk's breadbasket. Or I go back to last year and he's literally pointing to the end zone because he's not worried about any other defensive player catching him on a foot race against the San Francisco 49ers. I watch him against the San Francisco 49ers on fourth down make an insane throw to Marvin Harrison Jr. to keep the drive alive and ultimately go on to win that game. I can see it in spurts, and I understand why people around the NFL don't think they see it all the time because it's kind of inconsistent, and it's a little here and it's a little there. It's a bit sporadic. But, man, it's tough to, it's genuinely really hard for me as a pro Kyler guy. I want Kyler to work out. My life gets better if he does. I make more money if he does. There's more people in this chat if he does. So don't label me anti-Kyler. I need him to succeed. It literally, my livelihood depends on it. But there's just no consistent data to this point where you can say he's a bona fide top 10 guy. I mean, guys, let's look at this list again just really quickly. The top 4 guys, I'm not even going to name them. We know who they are. He's not better than those top 4 guys. Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen. Like, there's no argument. He's not better than any of those guys. Jalen Hurts, listen, he just won a Super Bowl. I can't argue it. Jaden Daniels was awesome last year. Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl. Herbert, I get it. The intangibles are insane, but still a little high for me. Jared Goff, he's been to an NFC Conference Championship game. He's been to the playoffs multiple times. He's been to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy, as much as I think that dude is so fraudulent, it's not even funny, until he steps on the field with that new contract, he has been to the Super Bowl. Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield. Both those guys have been to the playoffs. CJ Stroud's won 2 playoff games, if I'm not mistaken, before. So, listen, this is exactly where Kyler needs to be. If Kyler wants to see himself in this conversation next year as a bona fide top guy, it starts now. If we don't want to have this conversation about Kyler Murray not being deserving of being in the top 10, it's on Kyler to change that this year. Kyler has to be better. Kyler has to be awesome. It only takes one season to change the narrative around Kyler. If he can put a full MVP-like season together, he's jumping all the way up to the top 8. And that reasoning comes from, well, he's accurate, he's mobile, he throws a really good deep ball. All those things are super important. So this isn't rag on Kyler Murray. If anything, in a season in which everyone's ass is on the line, this is where I want Kyler to be. Getting stones thrown at him, not praise. So, it's got to be a much more consistent Kyler this year. That's the point, guys. I have talked to the anti-Kyler Murray crowd enough. It's time to talk to the pro-Kyler Murray crowd. Make your stupid edits on social... I shouldn't call them stupid. That's kind of mean. But make your edits on social media of Kyler, whatever you want to do with them and gas him up, fine. But don't try to tell me he deserves to be ahead of any of those other guys right now. Kyler had a chance to seize the opportunity last year at 6-4 through 11 weeks. And he was terrible with a capital T. He was not good enough. It's time for Kyler to change the narrative around him, change the narrative around who he is. But I can't argue that he's being disrespected. I can't argue that he's being overlooked. I can't argue that he's underrated. Right now, 15 sounds about right where Kyler Murray should be. I know it sucks. I know it's a harsh reality, but that can change in an instant because I've seen the raw talent too. He just, for the 1,000th time, needs to put it together for a large full season sample size, and then we can all believe in Kyler Murray and sing Kumbaya and hold hands together. But until that happens, it's going to be is what it is. Kyler has to go out there and prove it. All right, guys. I'm so tired. It's time for me to go back to bed. It's been a long week. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Unless the Suns hire a head coach tomorrow or unless something massive breaks, I appreciate you guys being a part of the Ben Garcia Show, watching, following, supporting. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow me on all social media platforms. And guys, what I got to say is, I've been meeting, it's great, dude, because my social media has a larger grip than my YouTube for right now. But I've been seeing you guys out in public. It's been great. It's been so cool to be able to meet. I was just at the gym the other day, and I asked a dude to, watch me, spot me while I bench, and I was benching just 315. No, I'm just kidding. I was benching, and I brought him over, and he helped me, and he goes, "Hey, are you Ben Garcia?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that was so cool, guys. I've been, noticed in Chipotle lines. If you ever see me out in public, come say what's up, chat it up. You guys are the people that keep the lights on. So I appreciate you guys making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We are a Monday through Thursday show, 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So follow me on all social media platforms. Like, share, subscribe the show. And until Monday, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.